on In 30.
When we went to war with a standard, with an industry, with a practice. And we said that this isn't okay.
The world was first introduced to Jared Leto as Jordan Catalano on the short-lived but cult TV series My So-Called Life. Since that time, he's maintained an impressive Hollywood career, choosing challenging roles from Fight Club to Requiem for a Dream. Although many actors have attempted to have a simultaneous career in music, he's actually managed to do it. The difference is, he's made his band, 30 Seconds to Mars, the priority.
Because we've been doing this for so long, because it's been such a slow build, it's given us an enormous sense of gratitude. We've never taken any of this for granted.
Jared, along with his brother Shannon, have released 4 albums, and after 15 years, it finally seems like Jared's shaken the label of Hollywood actor turned musician.
Did it make it harder because you were Jared Leto the actor, or did it help?
Oh, it definitely didn't help.
The band's breakthrough came with the release of their second album, A Beautiful Lie, which took them 3 years to make. And just as it seemed like their hard work had paid off, they were told by their label that they were in debt to the tune of $2.7 million.
What was that moment like?
Well, it wasn't fun to finally have success after, you know, groveling and working so hard for so many years, getting our asses kicked, and like to finally break through. And it was a little bittersweet in some ways. We were still incredibly grateful for the success, and we would have paid to have the success. And in some ways we did.
Unwilling to accept the standards of the industry, they fought their label, who sued them for $30 million.
How did you find out you're being sued for $30 million? Who found out first? Was it a phone call?
I found out.
We were like, what?
It was such a big number.
They played over 300 shows in 2 years, which landed them in the Guinness Book of World Records. It hasn't allowed them a personal life, but it's a sacrifice they've been willing to make.
You gotta have friends that you cannot see for a couple of years or 6 months at a time, and then kind of just pick it up and, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Or else you don't have friends like me. But
exactly.
It's price you pay.
Their latest album is Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams. Known for creating elaborate videos and incorporating social media into everything they do, they went beyond boundaries this time. They launched their music into space.
We did it because we wanted to do something remarkable.
This is 30 Seconds to Mars in 30.
We're good now? You guys good?
We're good. Are you good?
I'm good.
You guys get over
You
that?
got the lean. You got the lean.
I'm not going to lean. Right. What's up, fellas?
What's
Hey,
up,
man.
fella?
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
You know, you look like an actor. Do people tell you that? Do you act as well?
Yes.
You do. I mean, because you have the face and the demeanor and the obsessive quality of an actor.
Well, geez, you haven't known me that long. But thank you.
You know, you kind of look like as a cross between Ryan Gosling and Matthew McConaughey.
Good combo.
Should I pop
Right?
my shirt
Does that
off?
work for you?
Pop the shirt off. Let's see what
That's a good combo. First, you have to see what's underneath. What's underneath?
No, I'm being serious.
I appreciate it, man. Listen,
I think it's pretty right
listen,
on.
let's get through this interview, and if we can
Okay.
figure out a way that you can help me with my acting career,
Sure.
I appreciate it, man.
Well, I direct as well, so
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. And
I'm always looking for new talent.
I'll do my best to help you with this music career.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sounds like a deal.
Win-win. Win-win.
Let's start with Lust, if we can.
Figure that's where the men always start. The women start with love, but yeah, we can start right with love.
Yeah, I mean, it
Now
makes
you
sense.
know, ladies, lust.
It makes sense. When it comes to the business of music, right? And what the idea of a life in music could be for an aspiring musician, you can think about what someone might lust after, right? What it means to have a life in music. And things change so much from the time that you pick up the guitar, write your first song, play in your first band, to when you sell millions of records where you guys are now. So I guess my question is, what did you guys lust for as aspiring musicians, and what do you lust for now as established musicians?
It's a great question. And I think that my answer would be I lusted to make something great with my life, to pursue my creative goals and ambitions, and to make my dreams a reality.
Exactly. The lust to create, to perform, lust for freedom, you know? Being a musician doing this is a great form of freedom, you know?
More than I think most people will understand, unless you release albums, unless you know what it's like to kind of live in this world where you're really measuring your time and the growth of yourself as a person by these albums you release. Like, it really becomes a good way to measure, because you go, I released this album 3 years ago, and in those 3 years I've grown to this new person. So it becomes this excellent measure, and I think it's hard for people to understand that. Do you feel like it's a way you can kind of measure your life? Do you look at it that way?
We've often talked about an album as not just a body of work of music, but also a record of that time in your life. It's perfectly said, you know, that's a historical record of what we were going through and what was happening during those years of creation and touring.
Capsule.
Yeah. It's true. It's really accurate.
What I want to ask you then is, this new record, what do you think it represents, or do you know yet?
It is quite simply about love, lust, faith, and dreams. That's the subtext. Those are the themes that are being explored. And the way that you have earth, wind, water, fire, I think love, lust, faith, and dreams are the emotional equivalent of the four essentials out there, you know. So I think, you know, the thing that I love about love, lust, faith, and dreams, and I'm so glad that it's the title of this record, is the simplicity and the fact that all these words are so common and almost in a way so mundane, but also some of the most important and powerful words in existence. I mean, all of us have such a deep and powerful relationship, a deep and powerful story to each of these themes. They're very meaningful ideas.
It's true.
In 2005, 30 Seconds to Mars released their second album, A Beautiful Lie. The album was a success, but they didn't make any money. In fact, their label informed them that they were in debt, owing them millions.
This was a very intense time for us. We had a lot of conflict, but good things often come from conflict.
And so, the war began. The band decided to leave the label, who later sued them for breach of contract. It was for $30 million.
I watched an interview, Jared, you did when you were here for TIFF, talking about the documentary you guys made. And you were kind of like, in hindsight, reflecting on how the band was doing when you signed the deal, I guess in '98 and '99, and you said something like, first album was a disaster, second album was a disaster, but then the second single broke the band, which was The Kill, right?
Yeah.
So this happens.
Exactly.
And then, boom, you're like, we're $2.7 million in debt, we're told.
Yeah.
What was that moment like?
Well, it wasn't fun, and to finally have success after, you know, groveling and working so hard for so many years, getting our asses kicked, and like to finally break through, and it was a little bittersweet in some ways. We were still incredibly grateful for the success, and we would have paid to have the success, and in some ways we did, and specifically with this, you know. But it's really not just, it wasn't just specific to 30 Seconds to Mars. It's really the way the industry works in general.
Yes,
so
for sure.
when we went to war with a standard, with an industry, with a practice. And we said that this isn't okay. And we were willing to fight in order to make it better. And we did that. And we ended up making a film about our battle with an industry, a record company that sued us for $30 million. After we said, you know what, we're leaving. We're not going to play this game anymore. They slapped us with a lawsuit, and we battled it out and made a better deal for ourselves and made a better life for ourselves. So that was an important part of our journey.
How did you find out you're being sued for $30 million? Who found out first? Was it a phone call?
I found out, and I think I had a document, and I shared it with these guys, and I think I remember them being like,
We were like, what?
it was such a big number. We were
I thought it was a
like,
joke.
It had to be a joke, you know?
30, you know, it's just ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So
It was a big burden. It wasn't a lot of fun to make an album under those circumstances. It was incredibly stressful. There was a lot of burden. And making Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams was joy. It was incredible. It was so much fun. It was exactly how it should be.
you had to work to get there.
Oh, yeah.
The
And
way
that's
to
not a
get
bad
there.
thing. I mean, I think that the lawsuit, the challenges, it all made us stronger. It made our album stronger. It made us stronger. It made us wiser. It made everything much. It was important.
So, obviously, things worked out, and you're still with this record company, and it feels right, and obviously all the stars aligned there. But do you look past that? Like, when is your contract up? How many records do you owe?
We owe one more album.
Do you think about past that?
No, I don't think so much. I mean, there's so much to do right now, and we're in a really good place right now, and we're not anti-record company. I mean, at its best, a record company is a group of people around the world helping to share your work with the world. And to bring your vision to life. That's a really great thing. If we didn't have a record company, we'd have to cobble one together from all these different independent sources and end up probably doing twice as much work in order to be the global band that we are. So it's a nice thing to have a group of people helping and working hard on your behalf, but some of the practices and the industry standards are what's not fun. That's what we were battling against, not the people.
What's interesting is that, you know, having followed this band, in the beginning it was like, it's Jared Leto's band. And then it was 30 Seconds to Mars with Jared Leto. But I think now it's just 30 Seconds to Mars. I mean, you've gotten past that. You've gotten past the fact that you've had this excellent acting career, and that's how people know you. Was it harder in the beginning? Did it make it harder because you were Jared Leto the actor, or did it help?
Oh, it definitely didn't help. It certainly hurt. The only ways that it helped is the things that I learned as a creative person making films, you know, that I was able to apply, like work ethic or problem solving, or whatever you learn in one area of life, you apply it to the other. So that's where it helped, was behind the scenes. But it never helped. It was always a distraction. And I think that we had to kind of dig ourselves out of a hole. But that's okay. Everybody has their cross to bear. And we have ours. You know, we've had more success than we ever dreamed, so it's hard to complain. But I think Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams is an album that's going to surprise a lot of people. It's a complete departure. It's a brand new beginning for us, and I really believe, I said this before, but I believe it's the best thing that we've ever done.
You feel like you have that perfect balance now of you're 30 Seconds to Mars, and then you're also this guy who is known for acting. Have you found that now?
I think so. I think that, you know, there are, how many people in the world do you need to love you, number one? We have a lot of love out there. We play shows all over the world, bigger shows than we ever dreamed imaginable. We've shared our music with more people than we ever dreamed would ever listen to what we have to say. And that's been a miracle. We have this amazing family, this community around the world called the Echelon that we share this journey with, and that's been, you know, just a gift.
In 1998, 30 Seconds to Mars played their first show at the Horseshoe in Toronto.
So
15 years later, the ambitious band broke a Guinness record for touring, but has taken a toll on personal relationships.
What about keeping relationships, friendships, keeping family relationships?
Friendships go out the window. I mean, how many times can you send your buddy's email, "Hey bro, I'm in Paris again, thinking about you. What are you gonna do?"
And from struggling in LA to finding success, how their journey has taken them to space.
We wanted to do something remarkable, the launch of a new chapter of our lives.
That's next on In 30.